Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, this is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. And one of my favorite movies, one of the ones that probably got me started on the whole, pathway to being a nerd, being a geek, being, whatever you want, a fan of superhero genres and all of that kind of stuff, was, of course, the original Batman with Michael Keaton out there. And that scene out there where they come out there and the guy asks, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? Well, it's such a wonderful scene. It's so well shot. It's just absolutely glorious. And boys and girls, it's one of those questions that apparently Hollywood for a very long time has been asking themselves, what would that be like? What would it be like to dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Well, that's exactly what they've done for basically the last couple of decades, boys and girls, probably going back even farther than that, especially when it comes to Marvel Comics and Marvel superheroes overall, because, ladies and gentlemen, the spirit of the age has absolutely infected every single aspect of our culture out there, whether it be your video games, whether it be your government institutions, or whether it be Disney, Marvel. And the best part is, at some point, those chickens will indeed come home to roost. Now, obviously, we've documented the disastrous dumpster fire of all things Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, and all of the different brands that they own, losing hundreds of billions of dollars over the last decade or so by simply chasing this, by dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight and believing all of his lies and all of his untruths about this being the next big hot thing and how everybody else telling you no is just the wrong thing. Well, boys and girls, sometimes when you end up trying to run down the middle, things end up blowing up in your faces, especially when some things are just a step too far. And now, Disney Marvel's very own activists, the spirit of the age infected psychopaths out there that they have courted, the ones that they have danced with in the pale moonlight for over a decade, well, now they're finally turning on them. And boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, woke on woke crime is a beautiful and glorious thing to see. And I, for one, am loving every second of it. Because as you can see over here from the headline at thatparkplace.com, She-Hulk star, quote unquote, Tatiana Maslany urges fans to cancel Disney Plus subscription over Jimmy Kimmel firing. That's right. Tatiana Maslany has turned on the company that put her on the map as a star. Now, given She-Hulk was abysmally bad and pretty much universally hated by fans, if not one of them situations, if you couldn't at least criticize it for its absolutely horrendous CGI, of course, the things that it did to Daredevil and the absolutely insane ending it had, which was literally pointing fun of its own boss, color a shock there, the fans weren't exactly excited about the show. No, long gone was the beautiful, smart, intelligent, and strong-willed Jennifer Walters, a.k.a. She-Hulk, that all of the fans loved in the comics, and instead we got a whiny, drunk, well, there's no other better way to put it, slut, that was simply trying to get the attention of any guy out there who would buy her French fries. So needless to say, boys and girls, this show didn't exactly work out. And because these things cost so much, there was no plans whatsoever to go forward with this. And the best part about this is, if Tatiana Maslany had any hope whatsoever of ever returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in any shape or form, well, that bridge has officially been burned, boys and girls. And it's not just her. There are so many other liberals out there just having a meltdown and calling for the boycotts of Disney. And maybe it's ironic that there's a rumor going around right now saying Avengers Doomsday is going to erase everything after Endgame, which it would include our current screaming She-Hulk. So we're going to share this article from thatparkplace.com, getting all of the juicy details of exactly what she said. And of course, what are the rest of these activists of the cult out there are screaming about Disney Marvel and asking for it to be canceled as well. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2,200. We're sailing our way towards 23 on our journey to 100,000. I think we're sitting at like 22, 26, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Let us know what you think about all this. Does it surprise you at all that these little psychopaths out there are screaming and wailing into the ether Does it surprise you at all that she thinks she's going to get away with it? Do you think she even cares? Do you think she's very well aware of the fact that her time as She-Hulk is over and Marvel's never going to call her back? Or do you think this is just stupid on her part and she shouldn't do it and you're one of the psychopaths out there that would love to see her return as She-Hulk? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below, because as always, all opinions are welcome down in our comment section below, unlike over there at Disney. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, please check the links in the description as well. All right, boys and girls, from thatparkplace.com and our dear sweet Marvin Montanaro. Tatiana Maslany, the actress who starred as Marvel's She-Hulk, is now openly calling on fans to cancel their Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN subscriptions over the removal of Jimmy Kimmel from the ABC airwaves. The stunning move comes less than 2 years after she headlined one of the company Plus's Disney Plus Marvel releases. On her Instagram story, Maslany posted a behind-the-scenes photo from her time filming She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. The image shows her in a motion capture rig used to digitally create her She-Hulk persona. Obviously, you can see that right there, that digital image, all of this kind of stuff right here. Well, what goes along with this? Cancel your at Disney Plus, at Hulu, at ESPN subscriptions. So not only is she saying this, but she's out there tagging her former bosses. Wild. Huh. It's almost like Hollywood has let the inmates run the asylum for so very long that they thought they could get away with anything without any consequences to their actions. How'd that work out for Rachel Zegler and Snow White, boys and girls? Yeah. The blunt message paired with very imagery of her work on the failed, right, you can see right here. Oh, that's right. You can see her head at the bottom of this because obviously she was not that big. She's not that tall. The lady's cute, but a very small lady. She's not very big at all. And honestly, that's the worst part too. There are so many actresses and like cosplayers and like just big old like muscle bound chicks that love being at the gym all the time, like the little gym rat ladies. Like I know of cosplayers that you could have had somebody just like, was it Lou Ferrigno did back in the day? You could have had a live action female She-Hulk. Trust me, there's plenty of them out there. And there was some I live in a town where we have a college volleyball girls team. There are some very, very large women out there in the height department. But of course, they have to use their CGI. And God forbid you might have an actress that people might like more. The bump message paired with the imagery of her work on the failed Marvel streaming show is difficult to misinterpret. Maslany just isn't distancing herself from Disney. She is actively telling fans to pull their money out of the company's streaming bundle, seemingly over ABC's action regarding Kimmel. She-Hulk Attorney at Law debuted at Disney Plus in August 22 and quickly became one of the most divisive projects in Marvel history. Access media critics lauded it for its meta commentary and self-aware tone. Because of course they did. That's why no one trusts the legacy media anymore, and they're turning to independent voices like me and so many others out there. But audiences largely tuned out. The show was widely mocked for its visual effects, lackluster storytelling, and overt political messaging, and it was a disaster in the ratings. Ratings collapsed after its debut, and the show never developed the fan base that Marvel hoped for. Even with the broader MCU, She-Hulk is often used as a symbol of the franchise's post-Endgame struggles. And this is the funny part, too, as well. Well, now the very star of the show is telling subscribers to walk away from Disney's streaming empire. For Disney executives, the optics couldn't be worse. And what's funny about this, too, is basically the people at Marvel have already written her off anyway. So this is literally nothing more than virtue signaling. Because, like, literally the Daredevil producer, the showrunner for Daredevil, when asked if She-Hulk might make an appearance in the show, basically said there are certain events that happen inside of Marvel that we don't consider canon, and we're never going to reference them ever. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but that was the gist of what he said. So that's what's really funny about this, and kind of the irony of her even going out there and running her mouth and saying these kind of things, because literally it doesn't matter. She's already essentially been out. And this is the funny part, because it's not just her, right? There's plenty of others out here as well. You know, one post on r/X-Men, I've been reading X-Men comics continuously, canceled. What FCC and ABC have done, canceled, right? Pat Pug. Disney sold out to Trump by canceling Jimmy. If you thought that Disney had values, realize those are the same values as Six Flags over Georgia. No October, Okie me for me. I'll never go from platinum to pearl with DCL. Whatever, I have no idea what a lot of that means. But clearly, and this is a person who clearly doesn't agree with the conservative side of things, or even the common sense side of things. Every major talent that works for ABC and Disney should refuse to show up for work until Jimmy Kimmel is reinstated. Yeah, you can tell this is clearly by somebody who has no skin in the game because, yeah, they're not going to do that. Liberals are going to cancel their Disney Plus subscriptions and Disney altogether for pulling Jimmy Kimmel off the air. Conservatives already boycott them for woke propaganda. Is this the end of the company for good? Asks Harry Porcupine. And like I said, Marvel allegedly already wants to erase everything. And boys and girls, that's the irony of all of this. This is why it's all so funny. This is why it's so much fun to laugh at them and roast them and talk about this. Because this is literally woke on woke crime. These are the exact same activists that the Bob Iger Corporation, aka the Walt Disney Company, has courted for decades. Have courted since they started Star Wars, and we saw all of that abomination, right? Try to turn a boy's brand into a girl's brand, and we get nothing but a Kathleen Kennedy self-insert who's the key to everything without any struggles whatsoever. And screw the black guy, by the way. Not only are we going to shrink him on the poster for China, but all of you fans out there that thought he was going to be a Jedi and Force sensitive, ha ha, joke's on you. It's all about Rey. Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, I mean Eternals. It was going to save lives after all with all of its diversity. MCU, the Marvels, I mean WandaVision, the destruction of that character, Loki having him beat up by a fat, overweight government employee. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. These are the exact people that Bob Iger has catered and kowtowed to for decades, whether it be Pixar, whether it be Star Wars, whether it be Marvel or anything else they own. This is who they asked for. This is who they wanted, because God forbid, oh, those evil, racist, sexist, homophobic conservatives. Oh my God, you voted for a Republican. The horror! We can't have your ilk around here. Well, and that's fine. Some people got fired. Some people walked away willingly. And a lot of fans tuned out when you made it very apparent that you didn't want us anymore. And well, guess what? Now, the absolutely tragic death of Charlie Kirk has now brought us to this point. Because now you've realized the devil has taken off his mask. After all of that dancing in a pale moonlight, where he was whispering all of those sweet things into your ear and telling you all of the promises, making you king of the world, you were going to be on the right side of history, and the rest of those people would just be forgotten. Well, now you found out exactly how far the devil was willing to go to make that happen. Because as the old saying goes, first it starts out with nudge, then it's shove, and now it's shoot. And now, Bob Iger, the horror of where that leads, where your dance has ultimately ended you up at, scares you. But the problem is it's too little too late. Because now by trying to course correct and get rid of Jimmy Kimmel, it doesn't matter. Because the conservatives don't want you anymore and haven't for a long time. Don't believe me? Fantastic Four flopped. And the liberals that you kowtowed to for so long have finally abandoned you, just like they turned on J.K. Rowling, saying that men in little girls' bathrooms is a bad idea. Now they've turned on you because Charlie Kirk's assassination was a step too far for you. Well, guess what, Bob Iger? You've danced with the devil in the pale moonlight, and now you're being burned. And it's by your own side. Woke on woke crime is a beautiful thing. And boys and girls, it's exactly what Disney deserves. After all, they did it to themselves. A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.